Hello learners, I am Dr. Vishal Sood, teacher educator. In the previous unit, you have studied about different projects launched by the different states around the nation. Just like in Bihar, there was Bihar Education Project. In Rajasthan, Shiksha Karmi project was there to achieve the target of universal elementary education. In the state of Uttar Pradesh, there was Uttar Pradesh Basic Education Project. Today we are going to discuss about a project which was launched by the central government of India to achieve the target of universal primary education. That project was District Primary Education Program, and this district education program, primary education program, was launched throughout the whole of the nation. So today we are going to deliberate on this major project for achieving the target of universal primary education. So learners, our today's discussion will remain on the points. First is DPEP, that is District Primary Education Program, how this project was launched, how this project was initiated in our country to achieve the target of universal primary education, what were the objectives of DPEP program, what were the main components of this program, what implementation mechanism was adopted under this program, what working strategies and activities were undertaken in this program to achieve the target of universal primary education, and our last point of deliberation will remain what was the impact of this DPEP program on achieving the target of universal elementary education in the current scenario. So this will be the broader framework of today's discussion, and I hope that you will understand these points appropriately. So first, DPEP, how this program, how this district primary education program was launched. District primary education program is conceptualized and concretized on the basis of varied experiences and the expertise that the country has gained due to number of programs which were launched in different states and at national level, just like Bihar Education Project, Uttar Pradesh Basic Education Project, Shiksha Karmi project in Rajasthan. So this project was initiated, this program was initiated and conceptualized on the basis of varied experiences that our country has gained, or the expertise that our country has gained on account of the implementation of different programs implemented for achieving the target of universal primary education in the states as well as at the national level. So this district primary education program was actually the byproduct of different programs or the different projects which were launched around different states. This project was one of the largest education projects in the world, which was launched in 1994 and aimed at achieving the goal of universal primary education. So the project was launched in 1994, and this project was launched around the whole of the country, whole of our Indian nation. All the states were covered under this program, and all the states were asked in 1994 to identify at least 4 to 5 districts which were educationally backward, and the educational backwardness of those districts were identified on the basis of the female literacy rates. Where the female literacy rate was less than the national average, those districts were identified by the state governments, and in those districts this program was launched around the whole of the nation. Then there was emphasis on district specific planning and decentralized management in this district primary education program. District specific planning means district was considered as a unit for planning under this program, and different management structures at the lower level, just like at the block level, there were VRCs, block resource centers were created, then CRCs, cluster resource centers were created, village education committees were created. So this was the decentralized management structure under this program, that is DPEP. So the district was the unit for planning, and there were Further, narrower units where this program was managed and different decisions were taken and different lower level organizations were involved to achieve the target of universal primary education. There was the provision of, this program has the provision of participatory processes, empowerment and capacity building at all levels. Participatory processes means different institutions or the different organizations, just like block level organization, the cluster level organization, the NGOs, non-governmental organizations, the self-help groups, village education committees and the communities they were involved in the process of primary education. They were involved in the process of decisions related to the primary education. So, in this way we can say DPEP program has the provision of participatory processes. Then there was provision of empowerment and capacity buildings at different levels. The teachers, the community, the local community, they were trained, their capacities were built so that they can contribute towards the target of universal primary education. DPEP phase 1 is a project by the central government and it was started earlier in 5 states with the help of World Bank. Then later it was expanded to more states. So this program was launched in 1994, initially in 5 states, and with the help of the World Bank, the financial grant was sought from the World Bank to achieve this target of universal primary education, and later on this program was expanded to more states in our country. Now the objectives of district primary education program. The objectives of district primary education program, as you can see on the screen, 100% access to education for children in age group of 6 to 11 years through formal or non-formal education. So this was the objective of first objective of district primary education program. That is, all children who were falling in the age group of 6 to 11 years, they must have access, they must have reach to the primary schooling either through formal means or through non-formal education means. So this is the first objective. The second objective of this program was 100% enrollment and 100% retention of the children in the age group of 6 to 11 years. No child should be left off from getting admission in the primary schools, and no child should get dropped out from the primary school before completing classes 1 to 5. So this was the second objective, that all children should be enrolled and all should complete class 5 from 6 to 11 years. Then the third objective was, which was related to the quality aspect of universal primary education, that is, the children should attain minimum levels of learning by provision of quality education, that there should be a minimum achievement level of all the children, and for this DPEP has the provision of quality education. For this the teachers were imparted training, for this there was the provision of textbook revision. So these all were the qualitative aspects to achieve the target of minimum levels of learning, one of the aspect of universal primary education. So this was the third objective of DPEP. The other objective was to control the stagnation and decrease dropout in the school, to reduce the dropout in school. The children who are getting dropped out of the school before completing 5th class, they should not be dropped out from the school. There were many reasons: the poverty, the economic status of the parents, or the homely work, which were making the children to get drop out from the school. So in order to reduce that dropout, the one objective was kept in district primary education program, that the children should not be dropped out on account of poverty. And one more reason was there, that because of failures or because of low achievement levels, the students get dropped out before completing the classes up to 5th level. So in order to do that, some states in the country had made the provision at that time, that was the no detention policy up to class 3 or up to class 4. no children up to class 3rd or up to class 4th were failed on account of lower levels of learning or less level of achievement. So, in order to control that stagnation, one objective was framed in district primary education program. Then another objective of district primary education program was capacity building of teachers. The teachers were imparted training, their capacities, their professional skills, their knowledge, their pedagogical skills were upgraded and updated under this program, and this provision was made under district primary education program. Then there was provision of community capacity building. The community members were also imparted training so that they can contribute towards the educational upliftment, so that they can contribute towards the development of the primary education. And the community members, the parents were also oriented regarding different aspects of primary education, and this was also one of the objective to train or to orient the community members and parents under DPEP program. Then one more objective of decentralization and ensuring community participation was also framed in DPEP program, so that the grassroots level organization, the bottom to top approach could be implemented, could be followed to achieve the target of universal primary education. Another objective of district primary education program was to increase the enrollment in school from every unit of society. This objective dealt with no discrimination on the basis of sex, no discrimination on the basis of social category, no discrimination on the basis of economic status, no discrimination on the basis of any other region should be there, and every child should get enrolled in the primary schools. Every child belonging to every community, every unit of the society should have been admitted in the primary schools. So, this was also one of the objective of universal primary education, or say this was also one of the objective of district primary education program. Now, as you can see on the screen, there are 3 pictures. In these pictures, you can see there was, for providing quality education, there was provision of use of radio under DPEP. There was provision of teaching learning material to the students, to the children, for improving their learning levels. So, you can see what provisions were made. Now, what were the main components of DPEP? Learners, now we will discuss about those main components of district primary education program. There were 4 main components of district primary education program. First was the civil works. The first component, that is civil works, it deals with construction of school buildings, construction of classrooms, construction of veranda, construction of separate toilets for the staff and for the students. So, one component of district primary education program was the construction of the school building, so that every sort of facility in the primary school could be provided and the targets of universal enrollment, universal retention could be achieved. So, under this program there was the provision of construction of 2 classrooms, 1 veranda and the toilets at the primary level. Then the second component of DPEP was management structures. Management structures means there was the provision of participatory processes and decentralized management structures under district primary education program. Decentralized management structure means the involvement of the local community, involvement of the parents in the decision making process related to the primary education, related to the primary schools. For this, different structures at the state level, different structures at the district level, at the block level and at the grassroots level, at the school level or at the village level were framed, so that the management of this program could be done in a smooth manner, in an appropriate manner. At the state level, the program was run under a society which is mostly known as, in most of the state, known as district primary state primary education society. At the district level, the DIETs were entrusted the responsibility of implementing this program. At the block level, block resource centers were created to implement different interventions under this DPEP, and village education committees were framed under DPEP so that the community members, so that the parents, so that the local people could be involved in the process of primary education. Their say in the decision making process could be enhanced. So this was the second component of district primary education program, which dealt with the management structure, and there was maximum emphasis on the participatory processes, the decentralized management, and transparency in the whole administration of primary education. Then the third component was related to school mapping and micro planning. School mapping is a process in which the demography or the population or the educational facilities are identified, and those educational facilities are catering to what type of population and the future projections, and what educational facilities are available in the schools. They all are identified, and planning is done at the school level, at the village level, so that the targets of universal enrollment, targets of universal access could be achieved, which is the main goal of, which are the main aspects of universal primary education. So school mapping and micro planning were also taken into consideration in district primary education program. Then different programs and activities were also undertaken in district primary education program. Management information system was also conceptualized in DPEP, and this management information system, through this management information system, the information was collected from the schools, and that information was compiled at the district level and then forwarded to the state level, so that the planning could be done in an appropriate manner. And other activities were also undertaken in DPEP. So these were the four components of district primary education program. There was civil works, that is the construction of school buildings, classrooms and other infrastructure required in the primary schools. The second is the management structure, which dealt with decentralization of the management and creation of grassroots level organizations like village education committees, block resource centers, DIETs. And then school mapping and micro planning was the component of DPEP, and the last component was the programs and activities and management information system. Now we will discuss about the implementation mechanism of district primary education program. The implementation mechanism of DPEP was that the district was considered as the unit for initiating decentralized educational planning. District was taken as a single unit for initiating the planning of primary education at the district level. Now, why this was taken? The main reason was this: there were many variations in different districts in the same state. So it was thought that district should be taken as a unit for planning different activities related to the primary education. The second implementation mechanism of district primary education program, that it attempted to alter the pattern of resource related decisions from state level to local levels. That means the resources which are available with the state or with the schools, those decisions related to those resources must be taken at the local level, at the school level, at the village level, and the decisions related to those resources should not be undertaken or should not be taken at the state level, at the higher level. The third implementation mechanism of district primary education was that it attempted to strengthen the planning process to make it more consultative, more participatory and more transparent. That means The say of the grassroots level organization, the say of the local people, the say of the teachers, the say of the parents was maximized under this district primary education program, because the inputs, because the feedback received from these stakeholders could be beneficial in planning different activities for the upliftment of the primary education. This was also found to be beneficial in bringing transparency in different activities, and this will also be beneficial in making the parents more close to the school, and they will feel more close to the school and the educational processes. Other implementation mechanism, that is the provision of professional resource support to the academic activities through newly organizational arrangements like BRCs and CRCs. That means under DPEP, it was conceptualized that there should be a professional support. There should be the professional support in form of training, in form of resource material to the teachers, to the school heads, so that the academic activities, so that the co-curricular activities could be implemented, could be organized in an appropriate manner in the primary schools. And for this, different organizational arrangements like BRCs, block resource centers, and cluster resource centers, CRCs, were constituted at the block and cluster level respectively. Then this program also attempted to provide support to schools through providing contingency grant of rupees 2000 to each primary school and rupees 500 to every teacher annually. Now these grants were given to the schools or the teachers respectively for improving the educational facilities in the schools. The contingency grant of rupees 2000 to each school can be utilized for different purposes like wall writing. Just like in the same manner, rupees 500 grant to teacher was given for developing teaching learning material or improvised teaching apparatus. So these grants were given to the teachers and the schools so that they can improve their teaching learning practices, so that they can improve the curriculum transaction procedures in the schools. So this was the implementation mechanism of district primary education program. Now what working strategies and activities were under this program, that is district primary education program? What strategies or activities were undertaken? So there were 12 strategies, there were 12 activities which were undertaken in this program. The first was assess. Assess means opening new schools, alternative schools, and provision of multi-grade learning centers in tribal, backward and remote areas. That means the children or the areas which were not having accessibility to the primary education, a provision was made in DPEP to open new schools on those tribal, backward or remote areas, or provide primary education through alternative means. So for that, alternative schools were created, or the provision of multi-grade teaching learning was also made, and multi-grade learning centers were created in those areas to improve the access to primary education. Then tribal and coastal education. In order to improve the enrollment in the tribal areas, in the coastal regions of the country, enrollment campaigns for tribal and coastal students were organized. For this, the NGOs, the local panchayats, the voluntary organizations were involved in enhancing the enrollment of the tribal and the coastal children in the primary education. Then the third provision, that was quality improvement through teacher training. In DPEP, there was the provision of recurrent and regular teacher training, on-site support to the teachers in the schools. There was the provision of teacher support material to the teachers, and the provision of cluster meetings of teachers so that they come on a common platform, share their experiences remove their difficulties. So, in order to improve the quality of the primary education, these provisions were made in DPEP program. Then the provision of community mobilization. These activities related to community mobilizations were also undertaken in DPEP. Community mobilization was related to community awareness, constitution of village education committees, and conducting its meetings on regular intervals to share the experiences, training to village education committees, parents orientation. All these were activities were undertaken in the component of community mobilization in DPEP. Then the activities related to research and evaluation were undertaken in DPEP. Action research activities were undertaken. Conduct of research studies to receive the inputs from the field at the block and the district level for evaluating different interventions, to evaluate the impact of different schemes or the interventions launched under DPEP. The research activities, the assessment activities were undertaken in this program. Then the activities related to planning and management were also undertaken. For this, orientation for school-based planning was given to the teachers, was given to the school heads, was given to the block elementary education officers, the block resource center coordinators, the cluster resource center coordinators. Then there was the provision of preparation of annual work budget plan in DPEP, AWBP. Then there was provision of organization of planning and monitoring meetings at regular intervals so that the different activities launched under DPEP could be monitored and proving the future scenario. Then other activities were identification and education of disabled. The provision of identification of disabled children, supply of aids and appliances to those disabled children, and training to teachers and parents for dealing with those disabled children was also made in DPEP. Then the provision of girls' education was made. For this, the free supply of textbooks to girls was done. Awareness among girls was raised. For this, different programs were launched. Teacher sensitization programs for girls' education were also implemented under DPEP. Then another component, another provision of DPEP was distance education, that is training to the teachers through distance mode, through teleconferencing, or through the provision of non-formal education. The teachers who cannot attend or who cannot receive quality training, they were imparted training through teleconferencing mode. For this, distance education mode was applied. Then media activities were also there in DPEP program. For this, publishing of newsletters, awareness material, brochures for publicity in masses regarding education and other issues related to the community. Then activities related to management information system. There was the provision of supply of computers. The computers were supplied to the schools, to the BRCs, and skilled manpower, the data entry operators, were also appointed under DPEP to maintain school-based data, and its regular updation for this management information system was created under District Primary Education Program. And the last activity under DPEP was the village education register and the retention register. In this village education and retention register, the village education committees or the school authorities, they kept the record of family-wise educational details of the children of the village so that the school mapping and micro planning could be done in an appropriate manner. So these were the 12 activities which were undertaken in district primary education program. Now, what impact we witnessed of DPEP on UEE in the current scenario? As a result of district primary education program, there was increase in gross enrollment ratio and net enrollment ratio of the students. There was increase in infrastructure. The infrastructural facilities were created in the primary schools on account of launch of district primary education program. Then due to district primary education program, the teachers were appointed in the schools and the training was given to them to upgrade their skills. then the ECE centers were created, the alternative schools were created, which are all contributing towards achieving the target of universal elementary education in the current scenario. So this was all the impact of DPEP we can witness in the current scenario and has contributed towards the achieving the target of universal elementary education. Now, what we have discussed, what we have learned in this lesson, that the objectives of DPEP, we deliberated on those, what were the objectives of DPEP. Then we also discussed about the components of DPEP. There were 4 components of DPEP: civil works, programs and activities, and then there was the provision of training. And then we discussed about the implementation mechanism of DPEP, what implementation strategies were adopted in the district primary education program, what working strategies and activities were undertaken in district primary education program. We also learned about those working strategies and activities, and in the last we discussed about the impact of district primary education program on universal elementary education or in the current scenario. So learners, we have discussed about different aspects of DPEP, which included objectives, the components, the implementation mechanism, the working strategies and activities under district primary education program, and the impact of DPEP on universal elementary education in the current scenario. I hope that you all have understood about all these aspects of district primary education program. Thank you.